Hi everybody, welcome to another week. It's a gorgeous Monday morning and today I'm on my way to Warland Reservoir, which is naturally above Warland, so kind of in between Todmorden and Rochdale. So to get to Warland Reservoir, coming from the Todmorden side, you've got to follow this path across the moorland to get there. It does occasionally feel like a bit like the road to nowhere, but it's well worth it. So when you reach the end of the little path, if you take the right turn, you follow this path, and it takes you straight to Warland Reservoir. And here we are, Warland Reservoir. What a perfect day to choose today, because we can see everything we need to see. Even in the distance we can see Manchester, just there. So Warland was built around 1850, but I believe there are some date stones at the far side which we'll find later, which may prove me slightly wrong, but it's roughly that time. And at the time of building, it was one of the biggest reservoirs in the UK at that time. The purpose of it being built was to feed the Rochdale Canal that's down in the valley, to keep the levels of water in the Rochdale Canal level as well. It is a pretty huge reservoir. We're going to have a look at what's here. Okay, so this is firstly the bridge at one end of Warland Reservoir. Now, one of the reasons I come here, during hot seasons, if you don't like going to Gaddings Dam, which is far too crowded and busy on hot days, sometimes you can come here and find a little secret beach. Now, unfortunately, it's not been hot enough yet this year, so as you can see, the water is still right up to the edge. But if you have a good long period of hot weather, this actually becomes a little beach. So it's got a short shelf life, but you can avoid people, which sounds perfect, doesn't it? Look at that. Beautiful. So there's a wheel just above me here, and this is the reservoir. So as you can see, even though it's a gorgeous day today, we haven't had many of these yet this year. Sometimes there's still water pouring down there. But yeah, on a gorgeous day, all this here is actually sand all the way along. As you can see, there's none at the moment, which is a shame. It's quite weedy, so it's not the best one for swimming in. But it is a nice, quiet, little secluded spot. So back up at the top, yeah, you can just about see in the distance there the patches of beach are just about there, but nothing we can visit today, sadly. So you can take two routes around this, or one route, two directions. There's a path that goes all the way around, and roughly in the end there, you can then come back through the rocks, or obviously you can go through the rocks and come back on the smooth bit. We're going to go this way today. And yeah, sadly they won't pick up on this camera very well. You know, the views really are spectacular. You can see Rochdale, Manchester, and even beyond there, Wollaston and Littleborough, right up to the top of Baycup and beyond. Now, roughly halfway into the water, somewhere about here, when there is a drought, something quite amazing appears. It's the remains of a dragon boat, let's call it. It looks a bit like an old Viking ship, but it's known as a dragon boat, and that's been there since the Second World War. I'll put some photos on right now. I've never actually seen that boat. Those photos are from about 2015, the last time we had a proper drought, is when they appear. So I don't know how much of it is left today, but it's quite interesting to think underneath here is this old boat, which, as I say, was used during World War II. I think it was used to move wires across the reservoir to make sure enemy planes, I think, didn't land here. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I've ever been up here when it's been so warm. Almost always a breeze, but it is absolutely gorgeous today anyway. You can see from the path behind me, this is not exactly a 2-minute walk. If you were going to walk around it, probably give yourself a good hour. Next things to show you. So coming up on the tower. There we go, there's the tower out in the water. You can't walk across it, unfortunately, otherwise I'd go up to it. But, it's an impressive feature. So before we continue our journey round, I'm just going to drop down here. This is not necessarily the best way of coming down here. There is a path there, but it's quicker. Now there is something very similar to this at Gaddings, but this one is actually much bigger. I think it's where the overflow pipe will be. I don't think we're going to be able to get in, but hopefully, yeah. I can just move the camera inside. It's quite cool with the ferns and everything, isn't it? Yeah, closed for today. Yeah, essentially that's the overflow. So I'm heading back up to the reservoir. It's like walking through a desert today. In the distance you can see the date stones. Let's see if my info of 1850 is correct. Okay, so it's definitely a surprise to get here and find the dates on here in 1925. It's definitely not right, unless this is Warland Reservoir at its the last time it had some work done on it. It's definitely older than that. Apparently it appeared on maps in 1951 and was completed about 1851 and completed in 1857. There is one here, which that says RC. That says RC 1885. So yeah, not sure. So I've literally just come around the corner here, and it says, I don't know if you can make it out. Somebody's chalked on there. What you wearing, Matt? Well, today very little. Yeah, I guess I do have a tendency to wear some strange outfits. It's just to give you a laugh. So Warland is one of a number of reservoirs on this hillside that form part of the reservoir walk. So I think it is the biggest still, unless Whitehome is bigger. But if you go from Todmorden, you go past Gaddings, Warland, next one up, which is just here. It's called Light Hazzles. I mistakenly called it Vajazzles. Whitehome Reservoir follows, Blackstone Edge, and then round to Withinsclough. Okay, today I'm going to take the other route back around Warland, show you what's at the other side. So this is Light Hazzles Reservoir on the right. Warland is over here on the left, and we're going to follow this path round through the rocks back to where we started. So as we head down this route back to where we started, across various bridges and paths through the mud in the distance, and these rather wonderful rocks that we're going to go and explore. Even a little bridge to help us across. Across what though? So these are obviously nothing like bride stones or anything like that. It's just a jumble of rocks together here. As you can see off this one, some of them are pretty huge. We'll just have a little look amongst them. Some of them have certainly weathered into some very interesting shapes, haven't they? As we reach the top of the rocks, you can see Studley Pike just in the distance there. Crag Vale further ahead, and you probably can't quite make it out. There is a trig point just there as well. So as I've reached the end of our walk, looking down at where we started at the bridge, you can see a tiny bit of the beach is there. So now I'm just wondering, shall I go and look at it? Well, I guess I can't go on about a secret beach and not show you, so here goes. Around the corner here. That's it. I guess as long as you're willing to have a swim, you can get your own little piece of paradise. Very little. So although there's no actual carvings I know of amongst these rocks, these two are known as the pig rocks. Can you see why? So I said that and then immediately came across one that does have a carving in it. It's almost like a shield. No idea what that's about though. So as I have a rest in the shade of a rock and bring our video to a conclusion, yeah, definitely worth a walk around in Warland if you get a chance. It's a beautiful spot, lots of history, things to look at. Sorry I couldn't show you what I always call Todmorden's real secret beach, but it looks like it may have to be a complete secret this year anyway. But if you get 3 months of beautiful weather, pop back up and have a look, you'll see what I mean. So yeah, it's a scorcher. I'll see you soon, guys. Enjoy the sunshine. Take care.